Hey, Franny here from Franny's Sports and Travel Channel. Um, I want to talk tonight about softball. How do I have a right to talk about softball? Well, it was really my favorite sport growing up. I was an all state player in softball, and I was a power hitter. I batted number four, cleanup hitter, and I had a golden glove. So when nationals came around, I had several teams that took me to nationals in lieu of taking a pitcher because of my ability to hit and my ability to give them some good defense. So I love this game, and I got excited tonight because it was the semifinals of the Women's College World Series Championship. And in the semifinals, the first game was Oklahoma playing against Florida. Now, the Oklahoma coach, Patty Gasso, had hired the Florida coach, whose name is Tim Walton, way back in 1999, and gave him his start in softball. Now, he was um, a great baseball player, and I think he actually played in the pros at one time. So she gave him his break, and now they have to play against each other. So he had never beaten her, and so the teacher had always beaten the student. But tonight, it was a different story. She decided Oklahoma, they had to beat them twice. Florida had to beat Oklahoma twice in order to get into the finals. So she went with her senior pitcher, not her best pitcher. She gave that pitcher a rest, but this gal had a great earn run average by the name of May, and she let her pitch. Well, the first inning, there was a shot that went out to center field. And when that shot went out there was a gal by the name of Fair, Kendra Falby. Kendra Falby was cheating towards the left side, and the shot went towards right field. She ran and took a leap like a ballerina would and caught the ball, and I couldn't believe it. And neither could the girl that was on third base, because she started to go home thinking it was over her head, and by the time she came back to tag up, she couldn't go home. So they lost a run there. And after that, it was kind of all downhill, where Florida batters had been in a really, really big slump. And all of a sudden, they came around and started hitting like crazy. And Florida's team had four All-Americans on it. And they had been 0 for 18 was this Falby. She ends up hitting an inside. The very next inning, she hits a ball where the Oklahoma left fielder comes in, tries to get it before it hits the ground. It scoots past her, and she now is running after it. It's squibbing along the ground. And this Falby has such great speed. She scored an inside the park home run, something that's never been done in a College World Series. So not only did she have a great catch, she had an inside the park home run. So for me, she's the player of the game, even though they had a gal by the name of Wallace who came forward, and she had 2 home runs tonight. Another gal by the name of Walsh had another home run with some people on bases. So the score ended up being 9-3. So now they have to play one more game, and to see who will end up playing the winner of the Texas game. That was the next game, and Stanford. So the score ended up being 9-3, and now they have to play on Wednesday. So the next game that came up was the Stanford Texas game. And with that game, one of the reasons Texas has been undefeated in this tournament has been the fact that they have such great pitching that teams can't really prepare, because one pitcher is different than the next pitcher. So they had a freshman pitch tonight by the name of Tegan Craven, Kvan, and she was phenomenal. So this semifinal game ended up being a pitcher's duel. And Stanford had a gal by the name of Najee Canaday, and she was phenomenal. So it was just back and forth, defense, 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 until the bottom of the sixth inning. And a little player who's captain of the team, Alyssa Washington, comes up to bat for Texas, and she hits a squibbler to second base that's spinning her on the ground, and the second baseman misses it and gets an error, and she beats it to first base. Anyway, there's another hit, so now it ends up being people at second and third. They walk the next player. Now bases are loaded. No, second and third. Then the person hits the ball, and they go home with it. And now there's a rundown between second and third. Between home and third. And this little gal, Washington, just decides to make a break for the plate. And when she makes the break for the plate, they don't get it there in time. They did a replay of it, and she made it. And I think the most interesting fact is that Alyssa Washington's father had just passed away this year. And so she was dedicating all her games that she's played this year to her dad. So not only is she the captain of the team, but she also scored the winning run for them. So it's kind of a nice little tribute, I thought, anyhow. So there'll be one game tomorrow against Oklahoma versus Florida. And then on Wednesday, whoever wins that game will play Texas for the World Series championship. So if you have an opportunity, please put it in your TV guide and make sure you watch it. Some excellent, excellent softball being played by these women. So hope you enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed the commentary. Please subscribe below and know that I really appreciate you, and I love softball. Have a good day.